trying to make sense of all of it, right? Sitting out here is all this nature going on and traffic going on and everybody's doing their deal. It's a whole lot of, it could be chaos, right? It could be chaotic, right? And it has, I know it is sometimes. So, we have sirens going off, it's a little bit of everything out, right? How do we, how do I create, I want to, just how do I create the music and create in general, but how do I create the music when you're in the middle of chaos? So not even, so this is just a physical representation, but even in your, going through things that you've been through, for myself, same going through stuff I've been through. How do you create positive music and still be in the middle of it? Well, the first thing I would say too, now one thing I would tell you how to do this, you have to know yourself for anything, right? You got to know who you are. Knowing who you are helps you not be affected by the chaos as much, because you know who you are and you know your abilities and you know, hey, I know, so that helps you, helps tremendously first. And then from that point, it's just kind of, you almost have to, not you have to, having a blank mind when you're creating. So I have to put my mind in a sense of, so if I'm creating for instance, people that's driving on the highway, or people who want to sit out and do whatever, and meditate, whatever it is, I'm sitting out to create this, I had to put my mindset is, what will make that drive a little easier, right? Or the meditation, hey man, how could I make this? Yeah, so that's one way of trying to do that. But I think a better way of doing that, that's one way, yes, working the God, that's one way. What if I work out, what kind of music? No, I tried it a different way to pull out of this chaos, right? When I'm writing, I kind of put a blank mind space, like there's a blank room. Like I just got through going through stuff myself, right? Imagine the craziest stuff you can imagine, right? Today, I was calling taking care of something. I was telling the lady something happened yesterday, and she's like, wow, man, it sounds like a movie, but it happened, right? So just imagine leaving from there, hey, just for a minute, we're going to go into this room and we're going to create. And I go in this room and I see a drum set sitting over there, different parts. Well, I can't take all the drum sets, all the drum parts. I can pick which ones I want, set them in the room, and I start somewhere, right? There's a start, because even in the chaos, you got to find something that makes sense. Okay, everything is going on. Okay, wait. Okay, let me stop for a minute. Okay, wait. One thing that makes sense is the traffic is coming from this way, and it's side over here. Yeah, so you got to make sense of it. Start at the simple. So I'll start with a small sound and just start building off of that. Just the same way that you will build yourself out, dealing with the chaos and stuff that's going on. Start simple, start making your movements away from what's going on. And then at that point now, I'm actually making the steps how I want them to go. Well, in this scenario, I'll bring a tuba player in, or a bass drum player, or whatever instrument, a pianist, and hey, look, man, just find yourself a little old groove and do something over and over again until you get it right in. So now, again, it's about building. And the next person comes in, and let's build on that. And once we get to a point where we feel full strength, that music sound full strength, and that's balance. Once you get it, then once at that point, now you're in the middle of that you just created. I just created this, the sounds are hitting here, and everything. You just made sense of all of the chaos, and it comes out in the music, but it comes out in a positive way because of the way I do the chords. It comes out in a positive way. Now when I step back out, or and I'm creating the music, right? So now, as I create this, and this is what happened when I stepped away from the chaos, and okay, this one came back. Well, now when I go back, I have this new tool. I'm listening to this music, and it don't seem as chaotic as I'm going through because it's making more sense to me as I'm going through. Oh, okay. I got time to sit back and look and think and see what's really happening. Um, it's a correlation, definitely correlation. Uh, being homeless under the bridge, man, and you not having the money to pay for the phone bill, obviously, right? So to having your music there while you're going through it, but that's how I do that. You have to ignore the chaos for just a second and just start making little simple things make sense, and then just building on that part. And that's really what the music is about. Um, but anyway, just in life, if you're at work and it's just getting crazy in here, wait, hold on, let me. First of all, I don't have to be working here. I got skills. Okay, well, let me start making some calls someplace else. So let me start at least putting the word out, and maybe on them days when I'm off, let me knock on a couple doors or something and do something different. You got to figure out something, or if it's chaotic, let me find the one in here who got the most sense. Let me try to talk to them first. We get on the same page. Let's start there, or let me just start by being nice and to this one particular customer, and this should go away. Whatever it is, start simple, and then kind of build on that part. And you never know where the parts are gonna come from, especially in the matter of chaos. Things are going everywhere. You never know how you're gonna have what particles you're gonna have to use to make it make sense. Um, and it's a good feeling. So to be able to do that, So I know it's in the music, and again, we would talk about music, but that's the foundation for everything else that we're doing. So if you when you listen to music uh, as a foundation, well, let's try to get some more transmutation of the chaos into peace and harmony. There's again, also too, remember this: there are people who thrive on chaos. They love it. Oh man, and they just do it just for fun and giggles, right? They're gonna be them. But at the end of the day, just like there's a time where chaos seems to be the rule of the day, well, peace and balance also has its time too. So just know that. So just be a part of that. I say go get the album and let me know. Again, just how it helps you go through some of the chaos. Whether it's work or family or their drive home or commute. You got to go to work anywhere. Well, man, pop in the album and listen. Maybe you come up with that good idea that help you start making little sense of things and get you in a different spot. I love to know. That'd be cool. But this is me. And this other part too. I'll say this before I get out. With the music, having it there, and if anybody who has a gift, you having it on your computer, on that old VHS tape, whatever it is, I don't know. You having it on there as a gift, it only does you good, right? You're doing somebody some good, but just imagine how many other people it should be able to touch. You just keep that in mind for any artist. So for myself, I had the same thing. Hey, I'm creating this thing, and I've been doing that for a while, So here we are. So anyway, let's catch y'all on the next one. All right, peace.